Okay, I've finished working with the whisper thread. I think I've had enough of it. Finished filling this in and came up to the top of the current page I'm working on here. I'm done with the whisper thread. So I decided I would move down and start filling in some more color. So I started with this wine color here, and now I moved over to this color here. I'm going to start filling in the bits and pieces along the bottom of the chart. And I'm actually going to do Tina from Simply in Stitches, if I can get her there. There she is. The lovely Tina. She tagged me to do 5 questions in one take. So rather than sit in front of the camera and do that, I'm going to stitch and do the 5 questions in one take. So let's hope I can get this camera set up so you can actually see what I'm doing. Hi guys, so I'm going to try and do Tina's 5 questions one take video. Problem is, there are people home in this house and I may get interrupted, so we're going to see how this goes. I'm going to get my thread started here. 1, 2, as I count. Okay, so the first question is, if you were given a paid sabbatical to spend a year living anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? Okay, so a paid sabbatical. Two things. I wouldn't go to one place in particular. I would like to buy one of these like motorhomes or mini homes that like people actually can live in, and I would travel the entire country of Canada, like every province, up north, down south, well, as far south as we go. Yeah, I would just want to explore this entire country. I've been to several provinces, but haven't spent any extended periods in other provinces other than Newfoundland, where I live, Newfoundland, Labrador, or Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Those are the 3 most common provinces I've spent time in, like extended time. So I would like to travel all over the country and just see every little nook and cranny. And then I would also like to take one trip to somewhere warm, like Bermuda or something like that. Somewhere I could just go and then relax for like 2 weeks on a beach and just take in the scenery and do nothing. So I think that's what I would do. Question number 2. Who was your favorite teacher growing up, and how did they influence you? And I have to apologize if the camera is shaking a little, because I actually have the camera attached to my stand, and if I move my stand, then the camera moves as well. So my favorite teacher growing up, probably my grade 1 teacher. Mrs. Butt, B-U-T-T was her last name. She was a really, really sweet lady. She had lots of time and lots of patience with people. And she, I think, inspired my love of reading and books, even at that early age of 6. I was a little bit of a bookworm and very much an avid reader. Like by the time I was in grade 2, I was reading, you know, full-length novels and stuff. And that's how she influenced me, I think. She was just this amazing lady. The community that I grew up in when I was in grade 1, was a very small community. And I don't know how many places have this, but you know the old one-room schoolhouse, and you would have like all the kids lumped in together in one big room, and all the grades would be together, and you just had the one teacher, like the really old-fashioned one-room schoolhouse. Well, our school that I attended when I was in grade 1 was very similar. We had, I have to think, 3 classrooms and a gymnasium. The gymnasium was in the lower level of the school, and the 3 classrooms with the principal's office and a staff lounge were on the top level of the school. So in one classroom, my teacher she taught kindergarten, grade 1, and grade 2, all in that one classroom. So she would have to juggle those 3 different ages of kids. Now, my grade 1 class only had, I think there were 5 people, including myself, in grade 1. So we're not talking huge class sizes here, but still, she probably had about 20 or so kids between the ages of 5 and 7 in that one class they were, you know, split into 3 different classrooms, and she had to juggle and manage all of that. The other classroom, I think, had grade 3 and 4, and then the last classroom had grade 5 and 6. Yeah. So there were basically 3 teachers, and the principal was the teacher, I think, that taught the oldest class as well. So that's my little story about my teacher. Name 3 things besides sewing that you're good at. 3 things besides sewing. Scrapbooking. I love to scrapbook and paper craft. I've been doing that for years as well. I spent a lot of time doing that when I took breaks from stitching a few years ago. I was heavy into my paper crafting. I still do scrapbook a fair bit, still have my albums out, still work on pages here and there, but I don't spend as much time at it as I used to. And my kids have gotten older, so I don't take as many, you know, everyday pictures of them anymore. It's more like our special occasions and things like that now, and our vacations. So 3 things I'm good at. So scrapbooking, I'm good at. I don't know what else I'm good at. I'm good at organizing. Spent several years as an organizer for conferences and meetings and that sort of thing in the hotel industry, and for large groups, group bookings. And I'm really good at it. I'm good at organizing my home life as well, to some extent. I have to be the organized one. I'm living in a house with 3 other people who all have ADD. There has to be someone who can keep a schedule straight. Okay, so I'm good at organizing. I'm good at my scrapbooking. Crochet, I guess. I'm good at that. I'm good at crafting in general. You know, kind of like do-it-yourself sort of projects. DIY stuff. So that's my list. Next question. Do you cook? And if you do, what meal or recipe are you most known for? I have to read the question. If you don't cook, what meal do you most like to have prepared for you? Okay, I do cook. I think one of the meals that my kids and my husband enjoy the most that I make is sweet and sour meatballs done with a really nice thick sauce, and it's usually served over a bed of rice with some sort of veg with it. Really good. The kids really, really love it. It's one of my favorite things that I make that they enjoy. If I like to have something cooked for me, it's going to be the hubby's salsa and nachos. Nachos is one of my favorite meals. Like, I'll eat it as a full meal. It's not just a pub food that I'll eat when I'm out having a drink with my friends. Like, I consider it to be a meal. So I love his salsa. And he also makes a really, really good pot of jambalaya. Like, really good. Actually, I think that's what he made me for my birthday meal last year. Okay, and the last question. It says, one stitching question. What is your favorite cross-stitch company or designer, and why? I don't know if I have a favorite cross-stitch company or designer in particular. I'm really eclectic in my tastes, so I like a little bit of everything. Hands down, my favorite, I guess, I shouldn't say my favorite, but I have a lot of Heaven and Earth design charts. I really like their charts, and I like full coverage pieces, as you all know. So, yeah, it just makes sense that I would be attracted to Heaven and Earth designs. I really love the detail of their charts, and I don't care that it takes me a couple of years to do a piece. Other than that, like, I love Rosewood Manor, Plum Street Samplers. Yeah, companies that have old-fashioned, like old antique sampler reproductions. Long Dog samplers, they're one of my favorites as well. Absolutely right up there. So that is my 5 questions in one take, and I have managed to finish this block. I also meant to say that I'm going to tag someone to do this 5 questions in one take as well. I'm going to tag Rachel Danowitz. Rachel has been doing daily vlogs for Stitchmas, as she's calling it. So I'm going to tag Rachel, and who else can I tag? I think Cherise from Denkai Designs has already been tagged by Tina, but if not, I'm going to tag Cherise as well. Okay, guys, have a great day.